Have you ever looked at your drawing and thought, why doesn't this look bright enough? So you grab your white pencil, your white paint, whatever you're working with, and start making highlights brighter. I see this in acrylic painting groups all the time. People wanting to know what the brightest white is. The white is not the problem. Here's the problem. Your highlights might be perfectly fine. Your darks aren't dark enough. This is one of those things that completely changes the way that you're going to look at your artwork once you understand it. Everyone gives credit to the color, but the color really isn't the issue. You can't judge a value by itself. One of the biggest mistakes artists make with values is looking at them individually. We look at a highlight and think, that needs to be brighter. But whether something looks bright depends heavily on what's surrounding it. Put white next to a light gray and sure, it looks a little brighter. Put that exact same white next to an almost black value and suddenly it looks like it's glowing. The white didn't change, the contrast did. And that's why you can keep piling white onto your highlights and get absolutely nowhere. At some point, your white is already as white as it's going to get. You can't make the paper whiter, you can't pull a lighter value out of a white pencil, but you can go darker. This is especially common with new artists. Dark is scary. It can be hard to lighten back up, so they stay in this middle value range that feels safe. It also feels boring. You have your white, you have your light colors, you have a whole bunch of medium colors, which is usually where everyone gets stuck, and then your dark is basically just another medium dark color. If you've watched my critique videos, you know this is the most common problem that I fix, and it'll completely change the artist's work. When the work looks flat, everyone thinks they need brighter highlights. They add white to the eye reflection, more white to the fur, more white to the flower petals, more white to whatever they're trying to make stand out. You've already hit the light ceiling. Instead of trying to raise the ceiling, lower the floor. Look at your darkest darks. When something in your artwork isn't popping the way you want, don't immediately ask, how can I make this brighter? Another one I also hear isn't even values, it's I just need a different color. I just need to know what color to use, which is never the answer. What you should be doing is asking, what is the darkest value in this area? Let's say I'm drawing an eye. I can make that little reflection in the eye pure white, but if the pupil and the darkest areas around it are only a medium gray, that white reflection isn't going to have much impact. Darken the values around it and suddenly it pops. That highlight looks brighter even though I didn't touch it. You need darkness to give those lights something to contrast against. So next time your artwork feels meh, it's just not standing out enough, do not reach for the light colors. Darken up your shadows. And bonus tip here, don't assume all shadows and all dark values need to just be black. Don't add black to everything for darkening things. You can have a super dark blue, a super dark green, super dark whatever. You don't need black for making everything darker. Black is sometimes the answer for darkening things up, but sometimes it's a deep purple, a deep blue, something darker. One of the things that I like to do for students when they're really struggling, they're afraid to go darker, is take a photo. You can do this in any app on your phone. Just take a photo and adjust the values. Make your darks darker and the artwork will look so much better. Sometimes when you just see what it could look like if you change that, it'll make you brave enough to actually jump into the deep end and make those darks darker. Do you lack the motivation to get artwork done? I've got tips for how I trick myself into getting way more art done than I otherwise would. Check out this video next.